Amiya Guard, also known as Guard Amiya, is a 5-star arts fighter guard who's only available from clearing JT8-2 with your Amiya at E2 in the squad. You can change between Guard and Caster Amiya in her character menu, though I wish you could change it with one button instead of pressing multiple, going into multiple menus, and having to watch a cutscene. Also, spoiler warning for the story of Arknights, more so Chapter 8. For the most part, Guard Amiya is pretty much the same as her base form. Her race is now both Countess and Chimera, and her dialogue is just more pessimistic and edgy than her base form, probably because of the sword. She does get a new archive file in her new form, however. It's a history report from Rhodes Operator Logos, telling of Sarkaz Lord Column and his saber. The saber was 90 centimeters to 1.2 meters long and 5 centimeters thick. Its composition is and was unknown, though black in color, and was inscribed in Sarkaz, "Here the fighting stops." After gaining the throne, Column moved eastwards as the West had been unkind, and then just disappeared from history. Supposedly, Column could rout enemies without fighting, finding themselves physically and mentally defeated when battling Column. Some claim that his saber broke before claiming the throne, believing that the one afterwards to be born of his arts, but it's inconsistent with later battles. The saber was often reported to give off a green light, like a flame. The ferocity of Column led the blade to being called the Wrathful Cerulean Flame. Her guard character art, much like her base art, is drawn by W. There's little change in the clothing that Guard Amiya wears, but there is a difference with her background and her right arm. Her right arm is enveloped in like a sort of black armor with glowing red pieces, and her sword, Ying Zhao, at least that's what I think it's called, glows an ominous red near the hilt. Around her are 2 pillars, blue flames, Wrathful Cerulean Flames, a black square, and an Eastern Dragon, similar to Chen's E2 art. Most likely because her sword is based off Chen's sword. At E2 with everything maxed, Guard Amiya has 2,829 HP, 730 attack, 443 defense, 20 resistance, a 70-second redeploy time, 19 DP cost, 1 block, and a 1.27 second attack speed. Her range is the standard range of an Arts Guard. At max trust, she gets plus 45 to attack and defense. At max pot, which is how she is by default, she gets plus 200 HP, minus 2 DP cost, plus 28 attack, and plus 22 defense. Her talent, Wrathful Cerulean Flame, when Guard Amiya's skill is active, all deployed allies get plus 7% attack and defense. Guard Amiya's first skill, Ying Zhao, Fleeting Night, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. All levels start with 10 SP, with level 7 needing 39 SP to proc, lasting 27 seconds, and M3 needing 35 SP to proc, lasting 30 seconds. At level 7, Guard Amiya gets plus 50% attack, 60% arch dodge, and her attacks turn into double strikes, similar to those of a Swordmaster Guard. At M3, it's plus 80% attack. Her second skill, Ying Zhao Shadowless, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. All levels start with 0 SP and need 20 SP to proc, with level 7 lasting for 31 seconds and M3 lasting for 35 seconds. At level 7, Guard Amiya immediately searches for the lowest HP target in front of her, and attacks them 10 times for 160% arch damage, with the last hit dealing double damage as true damage. Each enemy defeated during these slashes will increase Guard Amiya's attack by plus 30% and resistance by plus 20, up to a max of 3 times, or plus 90% attack and plus 60 resistance. Afterwards, Guard Amiya deals true damage. The skill, however, can only be used once per battle. At M3, it's 10 times for 220% attack and plus 40% attack stacking up to 3 times, or plus 120% attack total. Guard Amiya, much like Caster Amiya, is really good in most circumstances with their S1, and can be great in specific circumstances with their S2/S3. She's technically free to get since you start the game with Amiya. Her stats are pretty good. Her talent buffs all units on the field when she uses a skill. Her S1 buffs her attack, gives her a 3 in 5 chance to dodge arts damage, and her attacks hit twice. Her S2 has a massive range, gives her a massive buff to attack and resistance if she kills at least 3 enemies, which I assume are permanent, with Guard Amiya dealing true damage when her S2 ends, if I'm interpreting the text correctly. But an op this good does have her drawbacks. To get Guard Amiya, you need to reach the stage basically before the end of Chapter 8, with Amiya at E2, and clear JT 8-2 with Amiya in your squad. Her talent is only active when she's using a skill, so for about 30 seconds they get a small 7% buff, and then you have to wait 35 seconds to get that small buff back, or if you have her S2 equipped, you won't get it again. The SP cost on her skills are decently high, and she doesn't have a talent that gives her SP on enemy hits or kills to boost the proc speed of him like her caster form does. And as good as Shadowless is, you can only use it once per battle, so if you whiff it and don't get the attack and resistance buff you wanted, or didn't kill a boss with it, good luck, you have to restart the stage and get back to the point where you were at. Regardless, Guard Amiya is pretty good. Hell, even I use her decently often, but you need to be smart about her placement and usage, as physical damage can be her downfall, and you need to make sure about when and where to use her skills, so you don't proc it too early too late and end up having to wait ages for the SP, or completely using up the skill. You'll be using your S1 much more than her S2, at least in my opinion, so I'd get her to S1 M3 and maybe about level 40 to level 50. E2, obviously. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates. I also stream, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well. There will be a teaser out tomorrow for next week's character summaries.